And we did a little research. We try and hold people to their facts, and some of his assertions we're learning here about that letter have turned out he's been vindicated on that. Good morning, André Wallace. How are you?
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Pretty well. You heard Jeannie Zaino, and we've talked about this before, of course, the Charter Commission. How do you feel about that, and how do you feel about changing the form of government in Mount Vernon?
Well, basically, the Charter Revision Review Board is something that I've been talking about since I got here, for years, before I even got on the council. And I ran for the council position to do legislation to work on changing the charter. Because as she stated, things have changed. Diversity has changed. The population has changed. Everything has changed since this charter was done. And we need to learn to change and adapt along with it. So it's a problem when you have, an old charter with new ideas. And like I tell everybody, the charter was great back in the day, but there's a difference. You can't run a 1950s car into a 2018 or 19 race. It's just two totally different things,
So you do support.
It has to change.
Okay, you do support. Now, apropos of that, a number of things that we've been working on here regarding this race. The firing of Sean Harris and that letter that was listed by him. We have every reason to believe that he didn't write that letter, and you've asserted that, and we just wanted to give you that confirmation, number one. Number two,
yes.
The fact that the mayor, and forget you guys are running, this is about the city against each other. He had to go to a court. The court orders your comptroller to open the books, and she still doesn't do it. Why do you think that the state, and not the judge so much, judges tend to be, when they screw up, it's more incompetence than intent, but why is this woman not in jail? Why is she not being held in contempt of court? Your comptroller.
That's a good question. I really don't have an answer to. That's something that the legal and justice system have to actually, focus on.
Because she's in violation of the. I'm sorry, she's in violation of the very charter you wish to change.
And that's the thing. We've just done some legislation, on payments so that the controller can turn over payments in a timely fashion. That legislation just passed on Wednesday, and approved at the Board of Estimates yesterday. So we're doing what we can, but the council's hands are tied. We're stuck in the middle of a fight between a controller and a mayor that goes back and forth. And at this point, we don't know who's telling the truth and who's not.
Well, one thing we know.
One saying they're paying the bills,
yes.
One saying they're not paying the bills, then one says they sent the check over, one say they never sent it over. So it's a difficult position.
We finally have something empirical. We finally have a judge saying that the controller is not within her rights, that the mayor not only has a right to look at the books, and when you're elected, if you're elected, you'll have the same issue. She must do this. Is the judge is failing. Now, broader question, and then we want to get you to promote yourself, is this is a tough question, but I'm going to ask every candidate, do you think that the powers in Albany and the controller, the state controller, and even the Democratic Party here in Westchester, do you think if this was Mamaroneck or Larchmont or one of the more Tonia cities that they would let you all twist in the wind like this?
Well, the way I look at it is, I think if this was Mamaroneck or Rye or something, this would have been dealt with a long time ago. I think there's a lot of political things that go along with what's happening right now. It's very political, and I always say that because it can't go on anywhere else. And I'm still curious why it's allowed to happen here. I write numerous amounts of letters to the state controller and everybody else as well, and getting answers, to my questions.
I'm attenuating.
It seems to move anybody or to move the needle.
Well, we've talked about some of the issues, sir, and I just wanted to get them out there. But what do you want to do? You take this last minute. Tell people why they ought to vote for you in that primary.
Well, they want to vote for me because they know that I'm going to change things. They also know that when you you think about Wallace and you look at what I've done since I've been there. All of my constituents and all of the people know that I put service before self. I never went there to get a job. I went there to do a job. I've always done my job, and that was to clean up City Hall and to get it running functional. Right now, we still have a problem. It's not doing that, but it's out of the hands of the council to do what the council needs to do. So we do need some outside intervention, which I've been calling on for quite some time.
We have to go, but we'll get you on a little. We'll get you on a little earlier again next week, and maybe even earlier in the week. Thank you, Councilman.
1460 WVOX,
Sean Patterson, Howard,
WVIP HD2, and WVIP HD3, New Rochelle.